I will say this New Year's, I was much happier than other New Year's.
She was a depressed bitch. Wallahi, can I live? Welcome to, I don't even know the name of this podcast yet, but fuck it.
We don't have a name for the podcast, but we're doing it. Maybe, I like the shisha. I like that there's a shisha in between us. Thank you.
Yeah, man, I'm Arabizing Jules Balufi because I really want her to convert to Islam, and there's nothing better than a shisha to do it, man.
Ahmed wants me to be a Muslim lady very badly.
Yeah, man, her infidel ways are like very destructive,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm trying to help out. You know what I mean? Trying to do Allah's, you know.
and you know, any day now. Any day now. I got a lot of people trying to get me to be certain things, you know? I got a lot of like gay and bisexual friends, and they really want me to be like gay or bisexual.
Ew, man, why would
and
you?
then I got you on the other side. You want me to be Muslim.
Listen, if you want to go to
Jesus Christ,
if you want to go to hell with a handbasket, sweetie, you can you can choose to live your brother's lifestyle. But goddamn, I'm trying to get you to heaven.
I mean, like it just it ain't gonna happen. Like you know. I am who I am, you know.
Wait
you
a minute,
can't change me.
So you're saying you're not going to become gay? Well, that's good.
No, I'm not going to become gay.
Well, you see, so this is why...
I mean, I'm waiting. It seems to happen to everybody now.
Well, this is going to be very politically divisive.
Yeah. But more and more people are getting into religion, I would say. That's becoming, you know, more of a thing.
Well, yeah.
Like it's a way for the young liberal people to rebel. Like they go to church, stuff like. I've heard of this.
Listen, man. Yeah. Listen. The thing is, it's what I wouldn't say it's young liberal people to rebel or anything like that. A lot of people want to stigmatize the idea of faith into like a political thing. And it's really not. It's not a political thing. Faith is something that it's adherent to reality. In other words, like it's like imagine you live in your life without any guidance. People need to have a sense of worship. And it's like even what Carl Jung said, like people need to worship something. Mm-hmm. And if it's not God, then it becomes themselves.
Or it becomes veganism. You know, I mean, it's all whatever the fuck. I've always I've felt this for a few years. Like people have been replacing religion with other things. And like politics is one of them. Like these die-hard left wing or die-hard right wing, like people are following, like, you know, people have internet celebrities who they cherish and they look up to, and it's like, you know, they make as somebody to listen to wholeheartedly, and I don't know.
Well, that's when you're living in corporate America, baby. In corporate America, they always give you two sides of a puzzle, but in reality, man, yeah, it's
What's
like
that mean?
either right or left. Oh, they're gonna, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like their whole life is divided by two.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a money making thing.
Yeah.
You divide people. Yeah.
It's like they're living in a Marvel skit. You know what I mean? The good guys versus the bad guys, or these guys versus that guys. Man, it has nothing to do with this. The world is such a vast place. It is quite an intricate dichotomy of ideas, people, cultures, way of life, and so on and so forth. And it doesn't have to be one or the other. You know, there's traditions, there's thought processes, this world is so vast. So vast.
Which is why I think that we have an interesting... This is a podcast that has... I think this is going to be... I hope, anyway, that this is different. I don't know of a podcast where there's some, like, Arab dude chatting with, like, this, like blonde, white academic chick. It's like...
Nerd!
You know, we have very different backgrounds, but we're friends. We're friends, and we disagree on a lot, but we agree on a lot. You know?
Yes, we do. Well, that's kind of the interesting dichotomy of how we interact because it's very weird. Like, I really hate half of your ideas a lot, and I think they're so retarded. And the thing is, the fact that I call you retarded is, and not only that, you still want to hang out is quite a shocking.
So funny because like I am not like I'm actually like pretty like moderate in a lot of ways. Like I'm not like I don't hate religion, you know? Like I don't hate
you know what you are?
like
You know what you are? You're like man, you're like you look at life like how you look at a sushi bar. You know what I mean? It's like, "Oh my god, I like this. I don't like this. Oh my god, but I realize it exists." It's so selfish.
I look at life like a sushi bar.
Like, you know what I mean?
And I'm selfish.
Yeah, it's like she's nitpicky and it's so
Am I?
Oh man, oh my god, oh my god. Like, listen, man. Okay, listen. This is why I don't like agnostics. All right, because they're such sissies. They like, oh my god, yeah. I think there's something out there that maybe it exists for sure, and then they try to dibble dabble intellectually over something that cannot be realized by the mind. You know what I mean? It's so fucking. This is why they always go through an economic, like a what's it called, an academic loop. Like, like all bunch of straw hat arguments of bullshit, man. It's
When have I ever done that?
all the time.
Like
all the time.
what do you mean? I'm just living, you know? Like I'm just living and I feel particularly unbothered by any of it. I don't have like a strong opinion on religion. Like I just
wrong because you see the
What
thing
do you
is,
mean
the thing
wrong?
is she doesn't listen to herself. One time in New Year's, right? One time in New Year's, this very let's just say like shitty comic from New York came by and a piece of shit. But I won't describe his religion, And she was there.
Okay, hang on. I don't know where you're going with this.
All right. It was a New Year's, and she was there, and then one of the staff members told her, "Oh, Jules, Happy New Year," and she was like, "There's nothing happy about this New Year. Every New Year just reminds me of the mortality that we as human beings live by." And,
I hate New Year's. It's true.
And
I actually really hate New Year's.
And it just makes me realize
it's always a letdown, and I'm always very aware of my own mortality. Yeah.
and
I'm more aware of my own mortality on New Year's than my birthday. Like for some reason, but actually, I will say this New Year's I was much happier than other New Year's.
She was a depressed bitch, and this is why
you weren't.
I was there. I was there
you
that
were
day.
There?
I was there that day. Didn't even want to shake my hands, and you were like, "Yo, by the way, that's Ahmed," and he was like, "Yeah, whatever." And then he had this fucking whatever.
Okay.
But I was there that year, and she was like ranting for 7 minutes how sad her mortality was, and this is why.
Really?
Oh my God! This is the answer that religion helps solve, so that she doesn't get depressed.
But I honestly felt good that New Year's. I didn't feel like what I normally felt, and I think it's because for the first time I was like pretty excited about the New Year. Like I had things I was looking forward to.
Sweetie,
like,
wallahi, if that was the face and the words of an excited person,
I don't even remember. I mean,
dude, I remember exactly. It was like this. It was like, it just makes me realize my mortality and the fact that we're all gonna die one day, and it's just a really grieving process for me. It was just like this, but for like 7 minutes, it was just like seeing a plane crashing, but in slow motion. It's pretty sad. And then she was like, "I was the happiest I've ever been that year." My God.
No, like I do become a little depressed on New Year's. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always just a letdown of a holiday. You always want something good, and yeah. Anyway, I don't like naming names. I don't want to name.
All right, fine. I'm gonna bleep out the fucking names. I'm gonna bleep out the names and the fact that I called him a Jew and.
But for real, because like I don't want, yeah.
Fine. I'll ask my beautiful Jewish editor to fix it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, yo, give me a second. Let me get my other shisha rock, and I know this is like She's
Yeah. Ahmed's got a shisha rock, a hot rock on the stove, and we're interrupted because he's has to be smoking a shisha 24/7. If he's in his house, he's smoking shisha. If he's not in his house, he's got a zin in his mouth. So
jealous.
jealous? Am I jealous of a of a full-blown addiction? Not particularly.
Are you jealous? Oh Lord have mercy.
Anyway, so long story short, we're very different people, but we still enjoy, for some reason, talking to each other.
Yeah, I just had to accept it. You know what I mean? I didn't even know why at the beginning, but then honestly, like a lot of our interactions are pretty funny. I love to tell her to shut the hell up, and she always shuts the hell up for some weird reason. It's quite a talent.
Well, because I don't want to fight, I don't want to, because it's pointless. Because sometimes you get on this, like, you get on your little soapbox and you na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, this is an impression of me. Wah, 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 wah. But then this is Ahmed. Something like that. Does that sound about right?
Dude, you are completely wrong. It's more like tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Bada-bum-bum-bum-bum, you fucking mental. Wallahi, it's pretty good. I like that one.
That's good. That's a good impression. Wallahi.
Wallahi. Yo, say wallahi?
Wallahi.
Yeah. See, man, one closer step to Islam, brothers.
Yeah. Okay, well, so let's get into, like, we were literally talking about shit, and then I was like, we just got to start recording. We were in the middle of talking about raising children, gender norms, gender roles, whatnot, but that feels like I don't know if we should just start there, let's go back about what happened this week.
All right, I think
we're gonna start lighter.
Gonna start lighter in a very. I don't want it to be a Joe Rogan podcast, to be honest. And
okay.
And I listen.
But what's a Joe Rogan podcast?
It's like vaccines and gender and.
Oh yeah, and I agree. But also, like, we do tend to go there.
Yeah.
I would say we most of the time talk about, like, gender things.
Yeah. Well, I always tell her, as a woman, you should learn to be quiet, submissive, and.
But I'm also a stand-up comedian, so I don't know. What do you want? Do you want me to be a comedian?
Yes, I really enjoy your comedy.
Oh, we should also say we're stand-ups.
Yeah, we're both.
Yeah, we kind of need to.
We're both stand-up comedians, and
right now we live in Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada. But I'm originally from the States. Ahmed was born in Dubai.
I was born in Yemen. See, she doesn't even know.
I don't even know.
You see,
you grew up in Dubai.
I grew up, yeah. After a month of me being born in Yemen, I left, not really Dubai, Abu Dhabi, the capital city, and that's where I was raised. I was raised in the United Arab Emirates, and then I came to Canada, I think year 2000, some shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was born in New York, grew up in New York City, and then when I was 10, we moved out to New Jersey, so I did half and half. When I was 18, I moved to Montreal for my undergrad, and then I've been in Canada ever since. So I'm kind of like, I'm American in some ways, but I'm also kind of Canadian.
Yeah,
now.
She's Canadian.
But
she loves our free healthcare system. She enjoys it. Hates the wait time, but loves the fact that she doesn't have to pay money out of her pocket.
I love walking into an emergency room, and I need help, and there's no bill at the end, and.
Isn't it great, America? Do you know how that feels?
It's really cool. Like, it's cool. Like, one time I had the flu. This was a few years ago. I was living in Newfoundland. I had the flu pretty damn bad. I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I fainted and smashed my face into my bedside table. And friend picked me up. We went to the hospital. And I fainted again in the hospital, and they stitched me up. I got a bag of IV, and then they let me stay overnight, and then I left. And then there's no bill. You don't have to worry about it. Like, there's literally nothing. Like, there's nothing. You just go there, they help you, and then you leave. As long as you have your healthcare card, yeah.
Yeah, but anybody can apply to it. All you need to do is prove you're a resident of this country for like 3 months, like of this province, and then that's it. You know,
unless you live in Quebec. Quebec, as an international student, I didn't get jack shit. Like international, really? Quebec has its own thing going on, but that's another thing.
Well, this is why we don't trust the French, whether you're fucking. Anyways, but yeah. No, well, by the way, let me ask you something. How was your experience with Canada, like as an American? Like, what was the keen similarities and the keen differences that you experienced?
Oh, I mean, it's obviously like Americans and Canadians are not that different in the grand scheme of things compared to the world. Not that different. We love to like notice the differences between us. Because, like, we're, self-centered or whatever. But relative to the world, not a lot of difference. However, I found that in my 11 years of living here, how long has it been? Like 11. Canadians aren't as chit-chatty as Americans. Americans, like if you meet you meet Americans and you're strangers, you can start talking to them and they don't think it's weird at all. If you go up to a Canadian stranger, like they're usually kind of confused as to why you're talking to them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I found, like, I lived all over Canada. I think she did too. And I found that the Maritimes, for example, are very much like Americans. Like,
they don't count. Yeah, Newfoundlanders, I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like I lived in Nova Scotia, so,
But other than that, I would say, like, by and large, like, if you're going to stereotype the rest of Canada, like, Canadians, they don't really talk to strangers. Like, they don't engage with, like, people around them that they don't know.
Yeah, Toronto is a very good example because I was this is where I'm from Toronto, and no, like even when I lived in the Maritimes for like 6.5 years, moved back to Toronto, I was even being chit chatty with a guy, and he was like, "Whoa, this actually surprised me. I've never seen somebody who would just talk to a stranger in Toronto." And then he asked me like, "Where did you come from?" I was like, Nova Scotia, and he was like, "That's why," because he was also Nova Scotian.
Yeah,
and it kind of made him homesick.
Okay, yeah. And then I find sometimes I just start talking to people, and I can see they're looking at me like, "Why are you talking to me?" Even people working in a store, like I'll be in a store and I start talking to people in the store.
I do that all the time with her,
and then they look confused.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it when I'm with you because Ahmed does all the talking. I just sit back and relax. Ahmed is way, way more chit-chatty than me, for sure. But me, compared to, like, somebody my age, I don't know, female, like, Canadian equivalent of me, let's say, yeah, I would be way chit-chattier. And, like, Canadians are very polite, but, like, I just don't find them to be very... They're known as being friendly, but I just don't feel like that's correct.
Okay, that one, 100% I will agree with her.
See?
Americans are so friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, really, not Jules, but I mean, like, other Americans. Other Americans, man, honestly, they're...
fucking asshole.
Yeah, she's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
She learned how to be Canadian very, very well.
Yeah.
And yo, like every experience, man. I was chilling with. But okay, here's the thing, and I would reiterate: West Coast Americans fucking suck.
So that's the thing. I don't know West Coast.
Yes,
America.
West Coast.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you, man. I was in Columbus, Ohio, and I remember, man, both my company cards did not work, and I needed to gas up my company truck.
That's not West.
Like, yeah, but it's still Maritimes region. Like, it's not Maritime region, but...
No, Ohio is Eastern U.S.
Eastern U.S., sorry.
Maybe Midwest. It's
sorry.
Midwest,
East,
but...
East U.S.,
But like, I thought you meant like California,
No,
Oregon,
no, no,
Seattle.
no. Like East U.S., I was at Columbus, Ohio, and both my cards did not work. And this dude was so chill with me, like so chill. He actually like even offered me coffee, and we stayed
Oh,
for
okay.
like
So
three
he was
hours.
nice.
So
Okay,
nice,
yeah,
so nice. And we were chit chatting. I was telling him about Canada, and he was telling me about America, and we were like having like one of the most wonderful conversations while I was talking to a Filipino guy on the phone who was just so horrible, like with the customer service with the cards. Anyways, it was actually pretty good. I really enjoy Americans a lot, I would say.
Yeah.
But the eastern part, not the west.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. I don't know Western US. I know Canada better than I know the States at this point. But like I go home and I feel like I can breathe a bit easier because like I don't know, I'm like I just feel like people are, my parents live in New Jersey, so I go home, it's New Jersey, and my brother lives in the city, but so, in that general area, and I just feel like people they're just not freaked out if a stranger starts talking to them. And it's just like, I don't know, like, and it's such a little thing, but like, one time I met a woman who was originally from Mexico in the airport at Edmonton. She lived in Vancouver, and we were talking about this, and she was like, through and through, and she said she's from Mexico. She lived in New Jersey, and she lived in and now she lives in Vancouver. And Vancouver's like the meanest city. And she was like, Mexico, people talk your ear off, right? Like they're so chatty. She was like, New Jersey, great, also chatty, not as chatty as Mexico. And then she's like, then I got to Vancouver, fucking nothing from these
Dude,
people.
Wallahi, it's like you living in a coffin.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. Vancouver blows, man. People there are, not all people, but all of them are ridiculous. All of them, and I mean all of them. They are like they have a level of pretentiousness that just cannot find. But it's like the same thing. I was in Seattle, same exact thing, man.
Yeah.
Like they don't give a damn, man. Like I went to pick up a truck one time from Seattle, and he was like, "Oh, this is your truck, man. Get the hell out of here." He's like, "Man, he even handed me all the papers without even checking. Like he didn't even check if I was like, I could rob this place. Like he was like, this is for my company, and never asked for any. He was like, yeah, could you get out of here, man? It's been here for like 3 weeks. That's it. And they are so rude, dog. It's so funny. It's so I think it's all West Coast, I would say, of like North America. They're kind of like that. They're very pretentious.
And then and then Canada, and then also like I work up in the Yukon a lot. And like when you go up north, like some people are really friendly, and then some people are really standoffish. It's very alarming. I don't know like what to make of it. But and this is the same thing in Europe too. Like if you go the further north you go in Europe, like the more cold people are. Like so like people are very friendly and like Italy and Spain or whatever, and then this is the stereotype anyway. And then you get up to Sweden and they're all closed off.
People with better weather, better food, better like everything. Yeah, I know they're of course, man. Like even man, like I was raised in the Middle East, right? So it was so common to chit chat with people like across. We would know people from other neighborhoods. We would know families of each other. I was talking to Von W. He was like, "What is like the stark differences between us here?" I was like, honestly, I told him, man, like like when you get stopped over by a police officer here, right? There's like an ethic. All right, make sure you put your hands on the steering wheel so you can be always visible. You have everything ready for the police officer. And you can't leave your car, and you can't, you know what I mean? Like all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, in like the Middle East, man, we immediately stop. We open the car door and we walk to the police officer. The police officer comes to us and we just shake hands and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" Right. Man, I'm good, dog. What's going on? And I told them, which is so much more like easier because we're not scared of the cops. You know what I mean? Like we're not. It's like they're only there to either regulate traffic, make sure that we're all safe. You know what I mean? And secondly, I was like, one time I looked at they stopped this one girl, and she was like, she was like, clearly she was like a little intoxicated, so they breathalyzed her, and she was like, "Oh my god, yeah." It's like, "Yo, your alcohol level's too high, ma'am." So she'd be like, "We need to get out of the truck." And she was like, "Oh my god, no, I can't." And then they just grabbed her, and then they just pinned her.
This is where?
Right here, right in Toronto. Like, no, not right in Toronto, like
Okay.
in Edmonton, like right around here. And then they just grabbed her.
And you
then,
were just watching.
and I was just watching
from the street.
From the street, yeah. It was 107. Anybody would know. It's like a ghetto. And then they just like put the handcuffs on her. They put her on the floor and stuff like that. And because she was kind of like resisting a little bit.
Wow.
And I was watching this. I was
They
like,
pinned her down.
yeah. They pulled her out and
Damn.
better shut the fuck. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And everything. And in my mind, I was like saying, man, wallahi, if one police officer ever puts his hand on a woman in the Middle East, people will stop.
Oh my god, yeah.
And whoop his ass.
I mean, I'm surprised to hear that even here. Like,
oh, it happens a lot
for women. Like, I don't know. I just feel like typically, like, they are going to be a little less pushy with women.
Yeah.
But women are usually like, fine, handcuff me. You know, women aren't going to like fight.
Dude,
too much.
You know what's so funny? Like,
well,
we're
I guess
not even,
she's loaded, but
we're not even allowed to like police officers are not even allowed to touch women. Like,
right.
You know, it was just very. I thought that was like very unique to Canada, which I like shocks me till today. Like, it's such a weird thing.
Okay. I think I had more points, but I feel like we should move on.
Yeah. This is like a very fun first episode, which we're not sure what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah,
so.
we don't know what we're doing, so whatever.
And there's not a lot of rants and
now I'm kind of tired. Like I think I just had a long day. When we had to go to Best Buy, that tuckered me out. We had to get in the car and go to Best Buy to buy new batteries, and oh man.
Man, yeah, look, she went and got batteries, and then she was complaining about how they were micro instead of macro SD cards.
The SD card. Well, now they're selling all these micro SD cards. I mean, nobody's selling a regular SD. Why do you want so many moving parts? You know. So some things, I lost a mitten yesterday. These are the things that are happening in my life. I lost a mitten at the grocery store. Gone. Oh. Hand knit mitten. My friend knit this for me a few years ago. I love these mittens. They're like my favorite thing. I lost it. Tragic. And now he's crying.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
The mundane life.
I know. And I was walking around. I walked to the grocery store. It's like -20. I don't even know how I lost it. I must have lost it on the street.
You know what?
I'm thinking in the spring I'm going to be walking around and see it or something. Then I retrace my steps. I'm walking through the parking lot. I can't find it. Finally, I'm going up to the employees, and then this is the last night, like 10 minutes after I realized I lost it, I went up to one of them and I was like, "Hey, I lost a mitten. Like, where would that have been, you know, lost and found or whatever?" And this woman, the woman who worked there, looked at me dumbfounded. It was also Valentine's Day, so the place was like swamped with people buying flowers and chocolate and food and stuff. And she was like, she looked at me like, she had no idea. Yeah. And she was like, "Well, let me talk. You should go to that guy. He specializes in this."
Yeah. He
specializes in lost and found. And then he couldn't help me. He was like, "Oh, no. I was like, "You guys are all useless. What the fuck? I mean, you don't know where your lost and found is?" Like, and then today I went back, and then this guy shows me the lost and found, which is just bins of hats and scarves and mittens, and it wasn't in there.
So you checked?
No. Yeah.
Did you
gone? I don't know where the fuck this thing went. Because I mean, it was like a 10-minute window where I lost this mitten.
Well, you know what?
And what are you gonna do with one mitten? It's a really nice mitten, but what are you gonna do with just one of? Especially it's a hand knit mitten.
Could you ask her to hand knit you another mitten?
Well, I'd have to find the same matching yarn, and like this was years ago, and it's a good friend of mine. Like, you know, I loved these mittens. Anyway, so that's my
What a tragedy. I mean, shit, wallahi.
Yeah.
All these poor kids in Gaza, man, they're dealing with some real, you know what I mean?
But not like this.
Not like this. This
Not
is
like
devastating so much, and wah wah wah. And I'm so saddened by that mitten. You know what I mean? Like really.
Well, now I gotta buy new fucking mittens.
Dude, God forbid she ever goes into her deep ass pockets.
My deep? What's that mean?
Like, I mean, man, she is swimming with cash right now.
Am I?
I feel like it, but like, I feel like genuinely.
Everybody thinks I'm rich.
Man, I think wallahi, she is
I'm
like.
no, I think I'm just good with money. Like,
good with money. Tens of thousands. I feel like she's really sleeping.
Okay, hang on. We ain't gonna talk. We aren't gonna talk about my financial situation.
I think she's like Scrooge McDuck. You know what I mean?
What? No.
Lives in a basement.
I'm good with money. Okay, I'm pretty stingy on myself.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're stingy. So
yeah.
What time?
I hate spending money.
What time? I swear to God, what time? Me and Brad Semituk, another comic, we had to do like a video with her, and Brad was a little late, but I came right on time. But she was like pacing around her house, and it made me like kind of a little bit uncomfortable.
Was I?
Yeah. It would be, oh my God, and then she was like, I told her, listen, sweetie, I'm so sorry. Did I come a little too early? She was like, oh no, wait a minute. Sorry, just to ask you a question. Would you like to have something? And I was like, yeah, sure. Can I have some tea? And then she goes like, no problem. I'll get you some tea. And she gave me the tea, with the mug that's from Dollarama, which looks like a bowl. It's like so much tea in it. And I was like, oh, sweet. Thank you so much. Can I have some sugar? And then she looked at the sugar funnel, like the funnel that she had. And there was like this much sugar left in the full funnel. And it was like this much.
No, I had a jar of sugar.
It was like this much left.
No.
This much left. And then I was
like, what are you talking about?
Dude, well, I remember because I was there and it happened to me. So I was like, so then it was like this much sugar left. And I was like, yeah, could you please put some sugar in it? And she just.
Oh, I gave him a little amount of sugar.
No.
And you think that's because I'm stingy with money.
Dude,
because I didn't load your fucking tea with sugar.
It was a lot. It was like,
I worry about you.
Oh, man, God, thank you so much. Well, bullshit. But,
how much sugar you want in your fucking tea?
I was like, can I have some sugar, please? And this is what she did. Like, just a quick ninja movement. Like, it was like...
Yeah, because like, how much sugar... Like, I don't put sugar in my tea ever.
Yeah, I know, because she drinks ginseng and shit like green tea. Who gives a
ginseng?
Who gives a shit about
I like peppermint tea.
Yeah, who cares? But peppermint tea you can have absolutely with no sugar. But like orange pico tea, you must.
Right. I understand.
And then she does this.
But it was not because of money.
Dude, well,
it was because I'm erring on the side of caution.
She kept looking at the jar and the limited amount of sugar that she had, and she was like, "This
literally making things up." Ahmed, something will happen, and Ahmed retells a story, and it's like he's overanalyzed the littlest things to mean like she's a bitch.
What a bitch! Listen,
she hates everybody.
Man, no, she does not. She listen. She's just she doesn't hate everybody. She hates particular people, but not everybody. All right, and listen, okay. But the thing was, when I asked for more sugar, she put her hand and she gave me a little bit more, and then I grabbed it and I tilted it.
Yeah, because
she freaked out. She was, oh my God, no!
Yeah, because it was an insane amount of sugar for tea.
It was still, man. Wallahi.
I just like I can't watch. I have a hard time watching it. Like, if you want sugar water, just say so. But
listen,
don't. Yeah.
Here's a funny point. She said, "Oh, Ahmed over exaggerates things." Could you believe that? Oh my God! And okay, here's the thing. One time, she was driving my car. I was sick. I was sick from working.
Oh yeah.
And she drove my car, and in the highway, she blew one of my tires.
Yeah.
Poof, like what
I mean? Happens.
And no problem. It is what it is. The tire was gone, but who cares? And then she parked on the side of the highway, safely. And then I came out. Lifted the car with the jack and took out all the nuts, and then there was like 2 nuts left. And then I used to I would jump on the bar to loosen them up. And then I said, "Hey, Jules, do you wanna try it?" She's like, "I don't know, maybe," because she was looking out for like all the cars that were coming because they were like flying. Hold it, and then you can put on your interjections later. And then she was like, "Maybe, I don't know." I was like, "Man, just try it, no problem." And then she stands on it, and then she was like, I'm scared that I might break my wrist. So then I just grab her shoulder and push her down.
No, I didn't weigh enough to push it down. You had to push me down.
I told her to jump, and she was like, "Oh my God, no! I'm scared I might ruin my."
No, I didn't.
100%, I was there, and then I pulled her down. I pushed her down, and then she was like, "Oh."
It probably felt unstable to me or something.
Of course it is, but that's the point.
So I start doing one of the things. Ahmed thinks that I've never done anything with tools. He thinks that I don't know anything about. He was like, "Do you want to do it?" I'm like, "Not really." Like
she was so excited when she was able to put one down. I mean,
that was fun because they were really stuck, and my weight didn't even turn the damn thing.
Yeah, because she weighs like 70 pounds,
But then I started like. You were very adamant that I do some of the twisting of the jack or do some of the thing, and then I started doing it, and Ahmed, Ahmed goes, "Isn't that nice? I'm like just like turning the screw thing, and he's like, doesn't that feel good? Like you're doing it. Look at you, you're turning the little thing. I'm like. You think I've never used a fucking wrench before?
Dude, this is how crazy it was. Because
our
she was
perceptions of the same story is crazy.
She said, Ahmed, I'm used to power tools. And the reason why she used the jack is because she kind of wanted to. And it was like really fun for her. And that's totally fine. The next day, this is the problem. The next day, she goes like, I was telling her, wasn't that nice? He was like, Ahmed, I use power tools all the fucking time.
I've used a tool. You were acting like
I would be such a.
I didn't react in the moment because it was so strange to me, I don't care.
And I was making fun of it, and then the next day, Ferris came from out of town, another comic, and a whole bunch of comedians, and then she was retelling the story like she changed the whole tire, and then she was like,
didn't.
And then she was she was like, Ahmed. And then Ahmed was like, wasn't it nice? Wasn't it? I was like, Ahmed, I used power tools before. And I didn't say anything, but in my mind, I was like, what? An electric blender, bitch? Like, what the fuck?
An electric blender. Yeah. Did you, I truly wild how we can go through the same experience and we walk away with the completely, I truly, you are, when you tell stories, Ahmed, I'm like, what were you watching?
Watching.
He was like, "Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it? Do you want to turn the little wrench? Do you want to turn the wrench?" I'm like, "Well, I'm standing watching the traffic. Why don't you just finish fucking doing it?" I don't. Listen. I'll say I've never changed a tire because I don't own a car. I don't own a car.
Empowering people and
I don't own a car, and I've never had to change a tire. I've been working in the field too. I just never busted a tire. So I was like, okay, watching, being like, this is, I guess, how you do it. And but the act of pushing a wrench to unscrew a fucking nut, did you know that I did, I was a volunteer firefighter when I was younger?
I think you told me that.
Did I?
Yeah.
These little things, it's so funny to me because I'm like, I feel like I've lived this, I do have a lot of diverse experiences, but then it's just that's a lifetime ago. And I don't that was so long ago. I was a teenager till I was 18, 19 or something like that.
Was it forest firefighting or just
No, it was my town in New Jersey. Did
okay.
I started when I was 16.
No,
and I had to do all the training.
Not bad.
I learned... Yeah, all of the stuff.
When I was younger, I used to.
Yeah, make it about you.
I used to. First of all, that's something that you love to do. That's something that you love to. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After you
fine.
call me a bitch, I
try to listen. Okay, continue talking about your story. It's so fun. So you were.
No, I mean, I don't know. Do you find that interesting at all?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
great,
very interesting.
Thank you. That's all I needed
so
to know.
did you actually like take the hose out and just like put the wrench and then when there was a fire?
We would, yeah, like when you're a junior firefighter, there was like, this was like a rare case where a town had like a junior firefighter program. It was like high school students, 16 and up. You would help assist with calls when there was a call, and you could do anything exterior. You couldn't go into any building as a junior. So you would do the outside stuff. So the hose, the fire hydrant, the ladders, get equipment from the truck and stuff. And then when I turned 18, I did all of the training to become an interior firefighter. And that was insane. Like, I look back on that and I'm like, who did that? Who did that? I had to go to this like firefighter academy for like a month. And it was like all day for a month. I don't know why. Like, I look back on it and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I went into a burn building. Like, there was a whole like you had to train. Like, we would put air. I wore an air pack.
Your parents were completely okay with that, and they were like, "Oh yeah."
Nobody seemed phased by it. Like,
dude, wallahi, being I'll say this: being an American woman is something so amazing. Like, man, I swear to God, wallahi,
I think I was the only girl in the class.
That is crazy to me because of my sister.
No, there must have been.
Was
there other women?
That is so.
I can't even remember.
Amazing.
I feel like I should remember because we probably would have connected on the fact that we were the only girls. Yeah, I feel like I was the only woman in it. I was 18, so this is a long. This is. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Does that do you feel like you have the power? Like because I'll be honest with you, man. Like, we would never even consider like.
Well, would you have done that?
Yeah, I would. I don't mind. Man, listen, I've done very crazy jobs. Very crazy.
Actually, yes. And I believe you do a lot of like you're used to like physical labor.
Yeah, like I used to climb up like on a ladder like on towers that were like 150 meters high, like just like not even a safety cable winch, man.
Just for fun.
Yeah,
not even.
No. Yeah. I was paid very well, but
okay.
But the thing is, like I could never really want it for my sister to do these kind of jobs. Maybe like, you know what I mean? Like as kind of like an American, like I'm speaking as an Arab dude, man. And this is why like her life fascinates me. Like, it's so fascinating. Is as a woman would have the audacity to go and be in a burning building. Like, that is like, by will, by sheer will.
I have always needed to prove to myself that I could do shit.
Like, why? Why the fuck, man? Just clean the dish.
I have to. Like, if something looks hard, I have to do it. Like, yeah. So I did this month of training, and it was like. Some of it was classroom, so you have to learn theory. We had to learn all about hazmat, like hazardous materials, and take a whole hazmat exam. And I learned all the different trucks and like what they carry, and like, you know, I'm sure this is something you were familiar.
Like in the industrial, we had to make sure.
Like if you're a firefighter and like a truck is on fire, you need to know what would be in that truck based on the shape of it and everything. So, and so then there's all the classroom stuff, and then it was like ropes and knots, ladders, hoses, yada yada yada, crawling, all sorts of things. And then the burn building, searching for victims like in a smoky building, and the burn building. And that was like the most intense part, because it was like this little house. It was a cement fake house, and you walk in and they had like a propane tank the size of a queen bed that just blasted flames to the ceiling. And then you would go in with like 4 people on a hose. You're all hooked up with like air on your back, like air tanks, all the gear, everything. And it's literal oven. Like, you're literally like walking into a full-size oven. It's so hot in there. And you're sweating. You never sweat that much in your life.
Yes.
And then you spray the hose at it, and it doesn't go out because it's a fucking propane tank. But yeah, that's one of the craziest fucking things I've ever done.
Like, I've done this, but with like straight up poison. Like,
what?
Like, well, because when you work in like when you work in like industrial oil, right? there's always like tanks that either that have to be nitrogen purged, or what's it called? Or sometimes they would have like high levels of H2S, and if you don't have a hazmat, you could straight up die immediately because there's no. So you had to be like fully sealed up and shit like that. So
oh yeah.
So and when you say it was hot, yes, it was really really like all of these big ass oil drums. They're like sizzling hot.
But like, did you have to wear protective
Yes.
gear, like
Yes.
firefighter stuff?
No, like but fully insulated gear.
Yeah, like with this, it's like if your ears are even exposed, like they would burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if any gap was in your mask, you would absolutely get poisoned.
Yeah, that's why like firefighters always have mustaches because then they can keep the seal around their face. Like they have to be clean shaven.
Shaven, exactly.
But
I had
like,
to shave off my beard. Only had like I got a thin mustache.
yeah, but it was really like. It was very interesting being like a woman through all that too, because like I could see like the instructors like would kind of pick on me sometimes because I was like the only girl, and they would use me as an example as to why it doesn't hurt to have different kinds of bodies in a firefighter unit. Like for example, when we're doing like when you bust down a wall, like there was an exercise where we had to like crawl through a wall. And, you know, studs in houses are like 16 inches apart. And so all of these dudes, you know, they would be like, it had like to get through a small hole in a wall as a firefighter, you sometimes have to take your pack off, push the pack through. And then these dudes with their big shoulders, like, would have to like finagle their way through this fucking hole. And I just like crawled through it.
Yeah.
Like I just crawled through it. Like I had to do nothing.
Yo, you know what the thing is? We had, I was working on a job where it was dealt with like a tunnel burning machine, a TBM machine. And sometimes we had to clean it with all the drills and the spikes and it was so, first of all, it's kind of dangerous, very dangerous. And only like I was willing to do it because I was so big, I couldn't do it. Like, so there was this small Filipino guy that was able to do it. And yeah, like body size really does matter. Height does. And like, and especially with these like really intricate jobs. Like there was a lot of, there was like, for example, there were like 3 tanks we had. And if you fall in them, you could drown too. Like
you could drown.
Yeah. Because it was like.
So what was it exactly?
It was a tunnel burning machine. It was like and you go like 100 or 200 feet underneath the ground, like in a hole.
Oh wow.
And then you just drill, and then we would bring like these almost 30-ton pipes, and we just like stack them, like almost like Lego pieces. And they'll be like 2.5 meters wide, or how do you call it in feet? 6, 7 feet, maybe 7, 8 feet, almost 8 feet wide.
Okay.
And then like you would like squish them together one after the other in the tunnel. So
I find all that stuff like the oil. This is oil.
No, this was just it wasn't. It was a water main.
Ah, okay.
I was working in the oil. I was working in water main. Right now, like in the summertime, I work painting lines, painting yellow, white lines. So this is what I do. I do like a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because even though like I know your parents, like they don't give a damn, kind of, and it could be related to your personality, but
this goes back to what we were talking about before the podcast, which was just like, like gender roles.
No, but even me, like I there's one thing that I would say that we're kind of similar is that I love testing my human limit to what I can and cannot do. Like there's like almost like an insanity.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that also played into like why I was able to try stand up. Like I finally that was terrifying. That was trying stand up for the first time was more terrifying than like a lot of stuff that I've ever done.
I would say, yeah, like I wanted to do stand up when I was 18, but I was too much of a coward. Surprisingly, I started when I was 30.
Yeah, and I think I probably started thinking it would be cool to do someday when I was like 22, and it took me to being 26 to finally just fucking, it was a slow like progression. But I think like I've put myself in uncomfortable situations throughout my life, You know, I've always tried things that looked hard, and I've felt the discomfort of trying something that's difficult, and yeah, I'm just used to feeling uncomfortable.
The thing is, here's the one thing very interesting between me and her. It's like she wanted problem always. Like she wanted, like kind of like
Well,
that. But me, on the contrary, I didn't want anything like that. I just wanted to live an easy, smooth life, and sort of life pushed me into this sort of so many times that it became kind of normal to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I had no intention, man. I wanted
you didn't mean to do like you didn't mean to have a challenging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was pushed into so many challenges when I was, I think, 2010, particularly till like today, that I find it very uncomfortable if I'm unchallenged. But I never wanted to. Like I had never,
okay.
I never had the intention.
But
like,
do you think maybe you didn't want to, but like you do have who, like, nobody wants to be uncomfortable. It's not like I don't, but I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Like I can't explain it, but like I just decide to do things and then I have to do it because I made an obligation to do it or whatever. It's like, I just find myself in these situations where I'm like, why am I killing myself over this? And it's not just comedy. It's been so many various hobbies and things that I've tried.
Well, yeah, like I mean, I've snowboarded, but I never really wanted to. It was just like sometimes, and this is why it's like very strange to me. Like I haven't snowboarded like right now in 10 years, but I remember how much I really loved it. Like it was the thrill of it, and every time I want to go, for some reason, I end up being too broke to go at this time.
Oh, well, we could go.
Well, I would love to. And
yeah, because that's one thing too. Snowboarding. When I moved here, I tried to get better at like park, so like jumps and rails and boxes and stuff. And it's like I found I was just at the park, just like eating shit. And like I'm a good snowboarder, but like I'm not good at park. Like I can only do a few things, but I was just eating shit and it's like having a hard time. But it's like I don't know. I can't really help it. Like I have to suffer I have to suffer through like
I love it. This is kind of the thrill. This is kind of the thrill that I enjoy. But so
now you're
much.
Backtracking. Now you're saying you want the discomfort.
No, but it's like the thing is, I never wanted it initially.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like I was trying to prove a point. It was like, I'll tell you, it was out of boredom. Like the first time I did that, and I didn't do it physically, I would say.
Yeah, like what's the first thing that you did in your life that you can say was like a tough thing,
but it was
an uncomfortable thing that you were pursuing?
Honestly, it was my teachers. They were all fucking psychos. And I first of all, I was bored one time, and I did sometimes annex, and what I would do is like I love to do bits on people. And one time I did a bit in my entire school where I just decided to start the first feminist club in Abu Dhabi.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God. And I was such a big advocate for feminism. I grabbed all these women.
But were you being facetious?
No, I was just bored. I was just bored. It was nothing super crazy.
Wow, you're full of surprises.
I was just bored, and then I and it grew like to 30 people in this club, and I was like, yeah, this is amazing. Then I just got really annoyed of all of them. Then I started the first chauvinist club, and just destroyed all the points that I had against them.
Okay,
and it was like bizarre. Like I would just go from one
but that actually sums you up so well. That sums you up because you just like chaos.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Like one time,
Ahmed loves chaos. He loves to start chaos.
One time, the United Nations came to our school, and then we decided to do like the Model United Nations. And I convinced everybody that we should commit genocide on a group of people.
Oh, wow.
And then we all voted with it. Even the girl who was part of that group voted for it too. Like, this is how crazy it was. It was like, I was like, let me see how crazy I can get this group. Like, it was bizarre. Like, it was
okay. But this isn't,
But this is not.
You've always been the way that you are, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, but then like exceeding my limits. I guess my chemistry teacher was probably the first one. He used to he used to always love to show us chemistry, not really teach it to us. So man, we used to make This was the United Arab Emirates, so this is the Middle East, not Canada. So we used to make homemade explosives, and we used to blow them up in the roof.
Start him young.
He started, yeah. Like he one time took me to his office, and he was like, "Ahmed, come in." And then he had like this chemistry room, and he was like, "Ahmed, look at all of this. I can blow up a square block and poison half the city. Anyways, what do you want?" Like it was just out of nowhere. And then he made me have the job one time. He used to do like live what's it called, dissection of animals. So then it was my job to kill the cutest rabbit you could ever imagine.
Oh my God!
I didn't want to kill him, but then
wait, what?
Yeah.
They made the children kill the animals?
Yes.
They dissected?
Yes.
You're
And
fucking kidding.
I swear to God.
No.
So Wallahi, man,
I don't believe this. We got a bucket of frogs.
Dude,
A bucket of frogs got delivered to the school. They were
School-
already
yes,
dead.
Yes.
Like they were
One time this teacher, you know what he did? He brought a full sheep alive. And then
What?
he had to kill it. And then there was so much blood.
I'm having a really hard time.
There was so much blood. And he could not get through the organs because it was just spraying everywhere. That in the end it was like, okay, experiment closed. And he literally grabbed it and buried it in the soccer field. What the fuck? There's like a hump.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I swear to God.
Are you
No,
I don't.
What,
I
people
want to believe you, but
People,
I'm happy.
people think. Listen, I can't make the stuff up. Like I really can't. See, the thing is, people think I have like such
Yeah,
a.
because you can't dissect an animal you just killed. It's filled with blood. That's why we get a bucket
Well-
of frogs, like they'd been drained, like they were prepped.
Yeah, man, and this is why.
for dissection.
Wallahi, I'll tell you this, and the reason why he used to do this because sometimes when you kill an animal and dissect him, the heart still keeps beating for about 2 hours. And he wanted us to all see it. And then
Is
when
that-
I swear to God, and then
Is that true?
100%. And then because I saw it personally, and everybody in my class did too, because then he was like, quickly, that's one time he told me poison it, so I used to put like horse tranquilizer
No.
inside the very cute white bunny, and I put enough to kill 2 horses,
What
but
the fuck?
but I kept missing the veins. And then he came in and he was like, Ahmed, what's taking you so long? He's like, we're trying to kill it, but we can't. He's like, fuck. And then he just grabbed it, broke its neck. And then he was like,
Yeah.
all right, we got to go.
What the
Dude.
fuck?
So yeah.
Are you sure this wasn't a dream? Like what?
Like 47 dreams back to back? That'd be crazy.
I'm just having a really hard time with this one.
Okay. So.
But no, we don't need to replay it over and over again. But
this is my life. All right. This is my life. And I know she has.
what school was this?
Abu Dhabi Grammar School.
Was this like a private school?
Yeah, private. Private Canadian school. It was the only.
It was a Canadian
yeah.
school.
Well,
What?
in Abu Dhabi, we have mostly either American or British schools that
Okay.
are private.
So who was in this school? Like a lot of Canadian kids
lot of
who
Canadian
were living
kids,
there?
yeah.
Was it like a lot of white kids?
Half.
Okay.
Half. There'll be white. There'll be some of them. I mean, we had like people from all over the world, to be honest. You know, and it was
What
good.
in the hell? You know. Okay.
You see what I mean? You see this.
Like.
This is the thing.
You see what I mean? Nobody sees what you mean. What do you mean?
But you see what I mean? Like this is the thing. It's like she lived a life of challenges that she kind of put herself into.
Right.
Because her environment, and I think this is one of the reasons why,
Was too nice?
was too safe.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Was like it's like there's no real like I want to say there's not real challenges.
This is what you think.
I 100% believe it because
Okay.
like I wouldn't be living in North America and be like, wow, my life is so boring. Like I'll be honest, man, it's a pretty boring life here.
Well, I see what you mean. Like a lot of kids don't face like tough circumstances in North America, and so like yeah, you can make it for yourself, and like a lot of kids make trouble for themselves by being like a bad kid.
Yes.
You know, so they'll go out, they're like running around, wreaking havoc or whatever, and like they're, you know, they try to make trouble, and it's like yeah. I think I don't know. I was just always attracted like yeah, probably like trying to get good at snowboarding as a kid and like really pushing myself to like become better at that. And I did pole vaulting. That was really hard. Like I would, I did track and field, and I was like, that looks really hard. I'm going to try that.
Okay. So like for me, like my life was kind of like fucking all over the place. So this is why it's like, I wanted peace.
Well, it sounds like you had more chaos around you at any given time.
100%.
Than I did. Sure.
Like 1,000 times more chaos. So it's like the moment of peace is the thing that I appreciated the most. But then when I came here and then I saw like how mundane and boring life could get, I got really depressed. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I should, because it's so crazy. Like her parents, like, oh yeah, she's doing some crazy shit. They'll be like, oh, that's being Jules. My mom, I swear to God, she called me one time and she was like, son, why are you doing this to your mother's heart? You have an education of business and law, and you're in a tunnel 100 meters under the ground.
Oh.
Why? Like, why are you doing this to me? And why are you with Chinese people? And I was like, I don't know. Like, it's just like...
And what bringing those people into...
Because
what
it was
a
Chinese company. So okay. So it was
just happened to be a Chinese company.
It was...
And that's important, you know?
Yeah. It was... But, I mean, and it's like, I always challenge myself by going like up towers of like, you know, like these... towers in oil companies, and I really enjoyed the thrill of like feeling alive. You know what I mean? Like it just made me feel alive. Like I can't do cubicle jobs, man. It's for women.
But what was the first thing that you can recall where you were like, this is a challenging thing that I can try? Like, you know, for example, like as a kid or as a young adult, like the first thing that you were like, I'm going to try to do that because it looks challenging.
Well, I wish I could say that I had like, it wasn't I would say I started doing it more about 5-6 years ago, but it was just like challenges appeared in my life that could have got me in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Like prison, shit like that.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't talk about.
And we won't. Yeah. So
let's not go there.
So it wasn't like I was heavy into crime or anything. But what I did was criminal. But it wasn't. It was not. I wouldn't say it was unethical. You know what I mean? Like it would have got like, so I'm not gonna divulge into what it was.
Okay, so maybe we just keep going.
I'm
gonna moderate you.
Yeah,
Ahmed,
and
we're not gonna. I'm gonna call it there. But I just think it's interesting that you keep bringing up my parents. It's like this daughter wanted to be a volunteer firefighter. Of course, my parents are like, great, she's doing something on her off time. She's giving back to the community. She's volunteering her time.
Bananas, bro.
My parents didn't give a shit about me being a girl. And I think that's helped me significantly in my life.
Yeah, I would say that. But man, fuck, it's like at the end of the day, it's like, you know, like you kind of. How do I say this in a way that makes sense and not be so sexist?
If you had a daughter and she was like,
dude, that would
Dad,
freak
I want to go join the volunteer fire department in this little town. It's not like there's a lot going on. It wasn't like a particularly dangerous thing to do.
I'll be like, there's ballet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be like, oh my God.
But if this is what she wants to do?
I know.
And you wouldn't let her? She wants to give back to her community.
Listen, I won't put a gun in her head. I won't. But I will really try to convince her to do something safer, Nice. You know what I mean?
I mean, it wasn't unsafe.
Listen, there's a fire.
I was like as a child, like you're as a junior, like in high school, you're an exterior firefighter. You're not going into any buildings. Like it was a pretty safe, and it was a small town, so it wasn't like, there was like some car fires, a kitchen fire, things like that.
Listen, man. Like I'll tell you this, it's like I don't believe in limiting like a woman's role in life. I don't believe that. Like I just
Really?
don't. I don't.
Well, this is news to me.
I don't. But you as a parent should be like, hey,
okay,
be safe.
sure.
Think a little bit. Don't jump the gun. And if they notice that you're like kind of like a like who you are, like a person that like to exceeds her limits, but also at the same time, like have some mental, like they should put some little bit of mental boundaries. You know what I mean? Because a mental boundary is a very good way not to get yourself killed. I would say that.
Yeah, it says you. I mean,
Wait a minute.
telling all these stories about walking up hundreds of meters,
Well, yeah.
and going down into the ground.
Well,
and,
I don't
like,
want my sister to
you're
do
saying,
this.
Yeah, you're saying that because I think you can be that person. Yeah.
Even though, man, I really, if you asked me like 10 years ago, like, yo, Ahmed, would you ever be that person? I'd be like, hell no, man. I would rather fucking sit and have like a fucking secretary that gets me coffee to my desk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I would.
Wouldn't we all?
Like, yeah.
That's the dream.
It is. But now I'm like, I don't know why, but I just can't find the joy. I just can't find the joy. Look at him, man. Wallahi, everybody's in American. Boys, we got one. Anyways, but I would like, let's just say if I had a daughter and she would be like, oh yeah, I want to fucking snowboard, and I'll be like,
Lots of girls snowboard. That's
I
a very
know,
normal
and
thing.
I'll be like, no, you wait. Like I'll try to stop her as much as I can.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? As much as I can. But
And if you had a son,
I'll be like,
you
be
wouldn't.
careful.
Yeah.
Like I'll be
Yeah,
like, be
okay.
careful, man. But like,
Yeah.
but like my daughter, man,
But-
like yo, like a daughter is a daughter, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like you want her
do
to
you
be
think,
safe
like-
at all times.
Right. So, and
Which is good to have like a mom that also I hope that my wife kind of is like also like allows me to kind of be like, no, Ahmed, you gotta trust her that she's gonna do fine, because I don't want to limit her, but also at the same time, man, like if she's my daughter, like I want to, you know what I mean? I want to.
but your son can break his arm.
Yeah,
and
let him
that's
go
fine.
fucking be a man, dog. What the fuck is wrong with
Yeah, but a daughter, God forbid.
Yes, but it's
You know.
adorable. She's your daughter, bro. Like,
Yeah, but she wants to do cool things. She wants to push herself and everything. Like,
I'll be like, listen, there's ballet, there's fucking.
but if that's not what she wants to do, what are you gonna do?
Damn, listen.
So this is where it's like I'm so grateful for the way I was brought up, because my parents truly, like, they never pushed me in any one direction as to like what I was supposed to do with my time. Like, yeah, like my parents, when I was a kid, it was like my dad signed me up for t-ball and then soccer, because we lived in New York City and those are the sports that were like accessible and they were out there. And so it was like I did t-ball, which turned to baseball, which turned to softball, like once the kids, and soccer. And it's like, other than that, I was never like steered in a particular direction as to like what things I did. Like they would offer me certain things.
I would love it. Like, you see, the thing is, like, I would love it if my daughter would just be like, for example, like the fact that you kind of live by yourself. Like you know, like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to university and be by myself. Like, yo, I had to change my university to be closer to my sister because she's a girl
Right.
by herself. Even though she managed, like she's my sister's a mensch. Like she's just as tough as I am.
She's A-okay.
Yeah, like
she's fine.
she's a real tough
Yeah.
person. But I mean, at the end of the day, you also want her to be like safe. Like like at the end of the day, like it's just like, oh my God,
But she doesn't
what
need
if?
it. Yeah.
No. Like, here's the thing. It's like a what if moment, and my sister had one or two of them. You know what I mean? Like, had one or two of them what if moments, and these are like the what if moments that are like very important, like for like I would say like a male guardian. You know what I mean? To be there, like best way I can call it, like a male guardian. Like, yo, you better fucking back up. Like, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, yeah, I can't relate.
Yeah, like, see, that's the thing. She can't relate because she never had anybody to like be like, yo, you better shut the hell up and not do this. She never had this, and it's not a bad thing to have sometimes. That's what I'm saying.
To have somebody looking out for you.
Yes.
Well, that's nice. It's nice if somebody's looking out for you. That's the point of like family and everything. It's not like I didn't have my family like looking out for me, but it was like I was still left to my own.
Yeah. Like for example, there's I read this article about this one lady who was from the United Kingdom, and she wanted to like also push herself like how Jules loves to do. And she had a family, she had 2 kids, a husband, and then she went to Mount Everest and she wanted to climb that mountain. Well, a gust of wind came, blew her out of the mountain, she died. And they can't even recover her body.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if the husband was like, listen, bitch, you better fucking shut the fuck up, I ain't taking it to India.
She, like, what?
Like, you know what I mean?
People hike Mount Everest, and do you know how many men have died on Mount Everest?
I know, but I'm just saying.
And nobody in their family said, don't do that.
I'm just saying.
And here's the thing and this is kind of me, is if you tell me I shouldn't do something, I tend to like, I'll go the other way.
I
like,
know.
I
And this is, I think this is a very humongous character flaw of Jules. Like a humongous character flaw, because that was the flaw.
Because I'm gonna hike Mount Everest.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
and
like
get blown off
by a mountain and like die in the middle of fucking nowhere and turn into a popsicle. You see what I mean? It's like, this is like the preventative measures. Like, she has no.
But I think I have a pretty good risk assessment.
And no, you don't. No,
what
you
are you
don't.
talking
No,
about?
you do not.
What am I doing? Like, I'm actually pretty risk averse. Like, I manage it. I think I'm okay with a little injury. But I'm not doing anything like that could kill me. Like, I'm not going off skydiving. I'm not paragliding. Or
honestly,
whatever.
She is. The problem is when you have somebody that's kind of risk. It's called risk averse, like
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, risk averse.
Well.
Like risk averse. Like, she doesn't mind taking risks so much. And I think that's how because of how she was raised. She was raised with the family be like, all right, you do you, boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like,
no, but I think I'm pretty reasonable. Like, when I'm like snowboarding and I'm trying like a trick at this little park thing, like, I know my limits, and I'm actually pretty like, I'm very like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not hurting myself. Like, I'm pretty careful, and as a result, I'm not very good at it. So. But that's the thing. It's like, I just don't want to hurt myself, so I don't push myself too far. I just like having fun. I like dicking around. But
that is the thing.
You know, I think if you raise a kid and you're constantly telling them, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, like, it does seep into their head, and then you're going to end up like, this is going to be somebody who is kind of more scared.
Well, yeah, like my mom, she was the kind of person that does this to me a lot. Like, she did this to me so much. Like, I had such high paranoia of life. Like, I had more anxiety than Noah. You know what I mean? And Noah Brodeur, which is another comic, who's like, I call him the anxious comedian. and honestly, shout out, funny guy.
Shout out to Noah.
And honestly, it's And it's not that I had to break, like, I wanted to, but life sort of had to kind of like made me push that out. So this is why, like, I'm like really calm during really dangerous moments. and it's a really good thing. But I think, and this is why, like, I'm sexist, and I say this all the time. I'm very sexist about this. I think men should be like this. I think women should be a little bit more reserved, and it's nicer. It's nicer. It's more pleasant. It's easier on the soul and the mind. Like, you as a dude kind of don't have to worry about your daughter running around like almost killing herself. Like, I think that's epic. I think it's such a great thing. But at the same time, you also don't want that to happen. Like, I'm not cynical. I believe that men and women should, to a certain degree, with a little bit more limitations on women, but be able to do what men can do, I would say.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But they should be more reserved.
They should have more sense of a fear factor.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think you need to try to control that. I do think that there is some natural tendencies. Women are just generally a bit more reserved, and I do think that that is just how it is.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need to worry too much about it.
No, well, that's the thing. I'm just saying, in generally speaking,
Like,
as a man that has a sister that I was always very protective of her, and as a man who also wants to have kids and love, man, like, I can't wait to have my first daughter. That'd be like the happiest day of my life.
Neither can I, because that's gonna go great.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, man, like, I want to protect her with everything that I got inside of me. You know what I mean? And her saying, "Oh my God, I just want to."
And I will say, like, when we're at shows and stuff, I do know that, like, if somebody is fucking with me, like, if some dude is acting, like, if there was a guy, and this hasn't like really happened, but like, if some crazy guy was like trying to fuck with me, like, and he was, I don't know. If some man was acting aggressive towards me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, Ahmed would probably, like,
I would.
Yeah, you would intervene, and you and other guys on this. Like, there's a bunch of really good dudes, and so that's part of the reason why I feel like comfortable out there and stuff. But yeah, so it's nice. So thanks for being a good friend, Ahmed, and it's okay that you're a little sexist.
Yeah, it's very okay, and I think you should be sexist too, and learn to limit yourself, man. What the fuck?
Limit yourself.
Yeah. Put some limits on your fucking head, man.
I think we're hitting the end of the line here for this podcast. The sun's going down. We're losing this light.
Yeah, well,
I gotta pee. I'm kind of hungry,
dude. I really gotta pee, like crazy.
Should we?